Welcome to the Alchemical Wellness Podcast. My name is Derek. I'm an herbal alchemist who specializes in biofield tuning and life guidance.
My name is Raquel. I'm a holistic nutritionist and chef, as well as a wild pregnancy advocate and free birth keeper.
And we are Black Bear Herbary. We're here to empower you to exist within the sovereignty of nature and transform your mind, body, and soul. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Alchemical Wellness Podcast. We are doing some introductions today between myself and Raquel. Raquel joined on to Black Bear Herbary about a year ago now. She's been a steady force increasing the visibility of what we offer. She's been vital in getting new stores and partnerships for the business. And we thought it was a good time to kind of share how we all got started and really what Black Bear Herbary is founded on and continues to operate on. And so we're going to move right into that.
So my health journey, I always love sharing because it's a journey, like anything else. My health journey began, I would say, around when I was about 10 years old or so. It was actually my mom's health journey that I was witnessing. And, I was the caregiver for her along with my sister. And seeing the, degradation of her health over the years through different levels of disease and chronic sickness, definitely had an impact on me. And she was deeply ingrained in the medical system. And at that time, that was, what we as a family believed was the best choice for her. And she had a lot of hope and faith in the healing power of the medical system. And unfortunately, I witnessed that to not be the case. And although that was tough, I see it now as pivotal to where I'm at today and where I continue to move towards and hope to help other people move towards. I will say that, I think for both Derek and I, we are grateful for the medical system that exists in our Western world, and it definitely has its time and place, and we, have no doubt that if we needed to use it in some sort of a way, we would. And also, just in regards to chronic conditions, we have found in our own experiences there are better solutions.
Yeah, we appreciate the emergency medical system, like if you break a leg or, fall off the roof, whatever emergency is required.
Right, it's really good at that. So, and I think these feelings, at least for me, hopefully after listening to this, maybe you'll have a better understanding of my own viewpoint. And of course, you're always welcome and invited to simply create your own viewpoint rather than follow ours or anyone else's. But anyways, hopefully you'll understand at least where I'm coming from through this journey. That's kind of my goal in sharing. So anyhow, basically, my mom's health journey was what the main part that I witnessed was over the course of about 7 years and until she passed away. And, again, being the primary caregiver for her along with my sister, just saw a lot of the ins and outs of her different procedures and, surgeries and different diagnostics. And
did you experience the barbarianism of the medical system?
Yeah, you could definitely say that. I mean, then I guess a positive thing I can say through the experience is there was always really kind souls that we came across, whether they were nurses or doctors or, different staff at medical centers and hospitals. There's always just some really beautiful, kind souls. And I don't blame responsibility, for my mom's sickness or death on any one person. Of course, it's kind of the system failing us as a whole. But, I think just seeing the different pharmaceuticals that she was on, she had to take so many different ones, and there was always this built-up hope that she would get better, and this was the solution. She just needed this surgery or this procedure or this pill. And what really ended up happening was she just got worse and worse and worse. And, I was able to see just the resilience and spirit that my mom brought into this whole journey. And that, of course, was super inspiring, and how positive she remained and what a light she shone throughout. However, her quality of life was immensely degraded throughout that journey. So anyways, maybe we can talk more on that in the future. But like I said, so about 7 years of witnessing that. And then after she passed, I began my own health journey of just having some different physical and, of course, emotional symptoms, which totally makes sense given what I had gone through and was going through. But I was experiencing a lot of different really uncomfortable symptoms that lowered my quality of life. And I then went on my own journey of pursuing help and hope through the medical system and getting different doctors' opinions and seeing different experts and having different tests. And ultimately, I landed in the same desperate and tragic space that my mom did, which was just no answers, no solutions, feeling really terrible and getting worse, really. So somewhere in there, in that, couple year journey, kind of hitting rock bottom, I guess, I started to feel a sense of empowerment to take my health into my own hands. And ultimately, that's what led me to where I'm at today. For me, the journey began with nutrition, and that's something that I'm still to this day really passionate about. And that really opened my eyes to holistic wellness and the alchemy that we share with you guys today. So through identifying different foods and what they can and can't do for our bodies, I was able to alchemize my own journey. And it's still an ongoing process. That started 12 years ago, and I'm still here doing the same thing, and it's a constantly transforming process. So once I studied nutrition kind of on my own, I decided to pursue that study a bit more formally as well, on and off over the years. I've taken different courses. Specifically, I was really grateful for the opportunity to attend the American College of Healthcare Sciences, and I did their holistic nutrition consultation program online, and I graduated with honors in 2020, and that was a wonderful experience, and I really enjoyed what I learned there and the community that I became a part of, that I'm still interacting with to this day. And over the years, I've also had lots of self-education and continue to learn as much as I can, whether it's about nutrition, herbs, different wellness modalities. And, nutrition is something that I always kind of go back to, and also can connect and relate to just about every modality that I learn about, whether it's, like I said, herbalism, even learning about the chakra system, and how that relates with nutrition. It's really fascinating. So anyways, after graduating in 2020 from ACHS, a little while after that, I journeyed on to Spain, and I actually enrolled in a holistic midwifery program or traditional midwifery program there in the mountains of Spain. And that was a really wonderful experience as well, and a wonderful community to be a part of and learn from. And, I would say at that time, besides traveling to move to a different country in the middle of what some people are calling a pandemic, besides that radical change, I think I also was just going through a really radical emotional change at that time. And what I've identified is that through the healing of my physical self, the journey of nutrition and health that has brought me through the sickness that I suffered from after my mom's death and has brought me to the health that I experience today. Once I could relieve those physical symptoms, I'm able now to focus fully on my emotional health and understand that it's all interconnected, and of course one feeds the other. So, embarking on the emotional wellness journey has been more recently my focus, and still revisiting the physical wellness journey and just kind of tying that all in together. But I'd say in the last 2 years, I've radically transformed or alchemized my emotional health, and I truly believe that's what brought me to the divine partnership that I'm now in with this wonderful man here, and also brought me to the wonderful business that I get to be a part of, which is Black Bear Herbary, and all of the ways that together we can offer different services and offer different passions and gifts with you all through our own healing journey. And just want to emphasize that again, it is a journey, and we're never at the destination, or we're always at the destination, because it's constantly in flux. And that is the epitome of alchemy and what we're here to share with you all.
Yeah, it's not where you're going, but it's making do with where you're at and learning how to make that better regardless of the situation that you're in. And yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me to share, and it's wonderful to be here with all of you listeners too, and to share this. So thank you for listening and holding space for my journey.
Is it my turn then?
It's your turn. Okay. We'd love to hear about your journey.
Oh man, I guess my journey is more recent or young that I can think of and remember and recall. Part of me has always been drawn to the magic and the plants and the herbalism, and looking to nature to heal instead of looking to outside sources. I think, like anybody else, we get so indoctrinated or told to think and feel and run a certain way. And lately we've seen such a shift, especially a shift that I've seen in the last year alone has been pretty amazing. And just more people learning and wanting to dive deep into herbal medicine and really reconnect with nature and heal themselves physically and emotionally. So back in 2018, I think. 2017. Yeah, 2017, I was working for a rather large supplement company that I'm going to name, or I'm going to leave nameless. And I spent about 3.5 years with them. That's where I really realized how detrimental supplements are to the entire system. And just like pharmaceuticals, supplements are now something to take to cover up a symptom. And you can't see me, but air quotes, they're considered natural and something that's better than a pharmaceutical, whereas in reality it's just I call them nutraceuticals. So spending time in the supplement scene really pushed me to kind of find my own answer, and I have always wanted to help people, so what better way than to dive into something that has always been in the back of my mind, and that's the magic of nature and utilizing nature's gifts that are ever abundant to heal and to provide peace and wellness to people. And that's kind of where Black Bear Herbary was born in 2020, which was awesome. And I've spent some time with the Herbal Academy doing like traditional Western herbalism, learning a little bit about Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine. I'm finishing up their advanced herbalism course right now, which is awesome. And then I've done a few courses through the School of Evolutionary Herbalism, which is founded by Sage Popham, who's a pretty big name for alchemical herbalism, in my opinion. And then I've also done a lot of biofield tuning, and there's a pretty cool lady named Eileen McCusick who kind of rediscovered this healing modality, essentially, and it's using frequencies to rebalance and bring peace within the energy that is constantly surrounding you. So that's been a lot of fun, and learning about energy and the chakras and how there's not just seven chakras. Mm-hmm. There's actually 13 major energy centers in our bodies. That's not including like the smaller energy centers, just the main ones. But yeah, I guess moving into how Black Bear Herbary kind of got off the ground, I started back in 2020, right before what everybody calls the pandemic happened. So that was an interesting time to start a business, but I planted the seed in the fall of 2019 and kind of let it soak and sprout into the spring of 2020. And I think that was probably the pinnacle of our success, was having those firm roots, which we rely on every single day. But getting started, it was just me in 2020. But I started working directly with clients. I did a lot of guinea pig testing with people, just kind of getting the feel of, that consultation style of herbalism, and making, and in the beginning I was making capsules with powdered plant material, which, coming from the supplement background, I thought would be easy. And come to find out that it's good in some ways, yes, using the whole plant material as a powder and putting it in a capsule. But we've learned a lot about extraction methods for plant material, as well as like what the capsules are actually made out of. So we've moved more into that alchemical extraction, doing solar infusions, using a soxhlet extractor, depending on the plant we're working with. But yeah, so we started working with clients. We started with 3 teas and 3 tinctures. The adrenal praesidium, which just means adrenal protection. The igni exire, which literally translates to extinguish the flame, which is our anti-inflammatory tincture, and then our basic bitters, or just digestive bitters, which are kind of like our entry-level digestive bitters for people who don't really know what to expect, but want something to, help support digestion and help ease any dis-ease or imbalance within the digestive system. So we started with that. We were doing a lot of farmers markets and kind of events and that kind of thing. We had dipped our toes into the retail wholesale waters, but weren't really seeing a lot of success with that. And then in 2021, we were doing, I think at one point we were doing 4 different farmers markets. Well, I was doing 4 different farmers markets, one person. Plus I was, trying to manage my time with a 4-year-old and producing the products and, just trying to keep my own head afloat within the joys of running your own business. And luckily enough, at the end of 2021, Raquel walked through some doors and kind of ran into me, not in the literal sense, but it's just been an amazing evolution of divine partnership, essentially, and like the growth that we've seen this year has been exponential. We're now in 7 or 8 Super One stores locally. There's a store in Whitefish, Montana called the Farmer's Stand. We're down in Pilgrims in Coeur d'Alene. Bluebird Bakery serves our elixir mixers in Sandpoint. We're also in Tendril Apothecary, Winter Ridge Natural Foods in Sandpoint. And then over in Spokane, the Kitchen Engine is serving up our elixir mixers as well as our teas. And I feel like My Fresh Basket in Spokane as well. They have some of our tinctures. So we've seen a lot of growth in the wholesale retail space, and we've been lucky enough to take a break from farmers markets and have some breathing room within that area. So that's been really nice and really refreshing. And we've had the opportunity to revamp our website more recently, and we're just looking at different avenues to incorporate alchemy and help spread the word of how truly simple it is to alchemize your life, even though it might seem extremely difficult, or you don't know where to get started or who to talk to or what to do. And maybe you have a friend who feels like that right now. Send them this podcast and introduce them to alchemy and introduce them to us. And we're literally here to help everybody that's what Black Bear Herbary is founded on, is putting ourselves out of business because we've taught every single person on this planet how to take care of themselves. So, yeah, I think that's all I've got. And
yeah, really well said. I think you definitely covered it really well. And, just an interesting thing to note that came up in my mind when you were talking was how when we first met, we shared with each other that we both at some point in our lives had the desire to pursue a degree in naturopathic medicine. Mm-hmm. And I think we're both rooted in that desire to help others and to do it in a way that aligns with nature. And I think, through our own journeys, we've realized that this, as Black Bear Herbary, is such a beautiful platform to do exactly what we've always wanted to do. And like you said, it's about empowering those of you listening, those that you're connected with, and even ourselves and our own family, empowering all of us to take charge of our own health and to reconnect with the wisdom that is within us through our ancestors, the wisdom of nature. This is all, we are simply conduits. This is nothing new, and we are just sharing the transmissions of spirit and nature. Ancestors, yeah.
Tapping into that energy and channeling those gifts that everybody has access to, not just us. Like, we're special, but we're not special in the grand scheme of things. Like, we're here to reawaken the things that exist already within inside of all of us.
Mm-hmm. So. And it really is a way of life. It's not just putting it on a pedestal of, oh, this is, you gotta take this tincture every day and, eat this certain diet every day. That's not at all how we live, and that's not at all how we want to empower others to live. It is a lifestyle of holistic wellness, and that includes our feelings, our thoughts, our emotions, our physical actions. How is it that we perceive life? Are we driven by money, or are we driven by an excitement and a passion that's way more valuable than the paper currency?
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and we are happy to hear from you. If you have questions, want to learn more, if you have any comments, we would definitely love to hear from you. Feedback is so important, and we thank you for holding space with us today and for us. And hopefully you feel some sort of inspiration or empowerment. And, like Tarek mentioned before, we're happy to help however we can, whether that be through consultations or if you do feel you're wanting some sort of product recommendation or energy healing or just general education, we're here for it.
Yeah, there's a new consultations page on our website. You can head over there. It's just blackbearherbary.com and click on consultations. There's a little bit more information about what we both offer. And you can even book directly on the website if you so desire. So yeah, thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, send us an email, catch us on Instagram, find us on Facebook, YouTube, and I believe we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor now. So we are getting the reach out there and spreading the word.
And we appreciate you sharing this with others that you think it may have an impact on too.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.